And you could always blame the dogs. Oh, I didn't let the dogs out. Look
Honestly,
at the time. I'll see you guys.
honestly,
How you be doing that, huh?
honestly, that's the slickest way to get at things. Oh, look, my dog took a shit in the house. So I gotta go. You guys,
someone's like,
have
I fucking
camera."
love Trump. I want to be president for 4 terms. Oh, look what? Oh, I
But
didn't let the
honestly,
dogs
though-
out, dude.
Welcome back to a very heartfelt episode that that we like to call Bart from the Heart. Bart prepared a bunch of really deep cutting questions that that should go uninterrupted when answered, and these might take a little bit more time to get underneath the first layer. So we're just gonna let individually, we're gonna let people answer, and then kind of let them go with it. And of course, no better person to start with than question expert Nick Dunn.
Nick Dunn. Yes.
You gotta start with me.
Nick the Dunn.
These videos about to be short.
Just imagine it's very similar to like our Out of the Closet series.
I hated that series.
Oh, you did? You didn't even like watching it?
No, I didn't really.
It ain't even gotta be serious. It's just like fucking go deep and
Yeah, I don't like that, dude.
No, I think people are like our fans out there. They want to hear like details, emotions. A lot of them they're going through like a lot of things that we've been through, so they just want to hear insight and help them navigate. If you care about them even a little bit, you would help them out a little bit.
No, that was the voice. That was the voice you were talking about.
I love it. All right. Pick a number between 1 to 7.
You said number from 1 to 7.
Nick's sweating.
No, I'm not. Check out my hand. 3.
Dude.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I mean,
You have one chance to change it.
should I change it then?
This is a hard one.
Just choosing a number.
I told you 3. That was my number.
All right. The question is, what's something that you believe or live by that most people disagree with, or they don't believe or live the same? Do you have any close friends that don't believe or live the same, and how do you guys coexist?
oh, like you're a raging liberal, but you have a fucking right wing best friend, Bart.
Could be, yeah, could be like that.
I wouldn't say. Hey, I wouldn't say I'm a raging liberal, dude.
Could be
Who
like
says that? I'm pretty conservative, actually.
I mean, you have a lot of friends, so I feel like at some point, someone's got to be pretty different from you in some major way, but you could still make it work, because you find a place where you do connect.
Yeah, like you're super gay, but you have a super straight friend, and then you just
That's because the thing about it is like I feel like I like that my friends are different than me and that they think differently than me because it kind of helps me with like blind spots, I guess you could say. Because I think earlier when I was, especially in my 20s and like when I was like a lot younger, I was I think in a lot of ways I was very judgmental about how certain people live their life.
Oh.
Right.
I feel like that's pretty normal.
Yeah, right.
In that age group.
Especially like coming from a Chinese family where you just like,
oh, Chinese be judging.
yeah, like what the fuck? This guy's doing this. Like, why would you do that? Like, what are you retarded? Like that was kind of the mind.
Because that energy is always being put on you.
Exactly. And you kind of internalize it and then you look at the world with that view. It wasn't until like Tiff would always kind of call me out on like how I would think about things or like how critical I was about just certain people's lives or just, it could be fucking anything. And I was just really critical on it just because maybe I didn't understand where they're coming from or I didn't consider that certain people grow up differently. They grow up with different, like, like for instance, some of my friends that are a little more promiscuous in this life, like out there fucking all the time. And in my head, I'm like, bro, like
That's a good example.
That's a really good
because
one. Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, brother, like you're wasting all your energy and time, like messing around with these chicks that,
And money.
yeah. And like, and it's fine. I get it. Like some people, I'm not here to yuck someone's yums. Right. But before I would, but now it comes from like, I try to stop myself and really think about.
So before you would
grow.
actually like try to give suggestions or sit them down and try to like help, I guess, like corral where they're going with that.
A little bit. There's definitely some times where I felt like That's like a minor example where I would always tell my buddies like, "Yo, dude, like, why are you fucking hanging out with this chick if you don't really like her? Yeah, like if you don't like this chick, why are you always hanging out with her every weekend? And you guys are like, I get you guys are smashing, that's cool, whatever. But you know, as a guy who was like the relationship dude, always been in one relationship, you know, it's kind of like, oh, dude, shut the fuck up, like, don't be that guy.
Is that how you see it? Like that?
Sometimes, yeah. Like you shouldn't be throwing stones at like talking. I know a lot of ways talking shit, giving suggestions to someone else's life when your life is completely different and you come from a different background. You know, so but I think a lot of times Tiff would always kind of like challenge me, but like, why do you do that? Like just being a total therapist, you know, just questioning it, and you go like, fuck, I never kind of like what you guys do to me, where you guys make me think deeper, and I go, man, I never thought about that, and I didn't want to on purpose.
Would you say that you actually have a lot of friends now that are contrast to maybe your personal morals, but you're like, this is kind of how I live my life, but I'm chill if all of you guys are doing different shit. Like, so then now she kind of like, you eventually now broke away from the judgment, but now you have a lot of friends that are contrasting, not just one friend.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, you know, as you get older too, your circle gets a little smaller, right? Yeah. So you kind of start to see that like the way this person lives his life is like, oh, I like this. I like this idea of having a family, being a more family oriented person. Yeah. I'm going to start, you know, kind of being around this a little bit more, you know? Like for instance, a lot of my buddies now are all having kids. They're all having friends, and you see how they change from, you know, like they used to be like super single dudes, and then I was always like I guess the relationship dude, and all my other buddies were always like bachelors. And then now you see them in a different stage in life where they got booed up, they have a baby, and they're moving in, you know, like all that. And you realize like, but it's like, it's everyone's, but what I've come to understand is that everyone, their journey and how they get about it is usually more time dependent than anything. Like, over time, they just start to grow into it if that's what they kind of want.
You never rubbed it in their face like, see, I told you the relationship life is way better.
No, it's not even that. It's like, I don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, look here. And it's never like unsolicited. It's always like if somebody was
They came to you
griping about like this person. Like those are those instances where I'd be like, bro, like just stop talking to girls for a little bit and just like focus on you or whatever, you know, like you're spending so much time trying to get pussy every week. And I'm like, brother, like just, this is not the way, you know, like I would just think like that. But at a certain point I would stop saying all that stuff because it's not helpful either, you know, like sometimes, unless they are really like coming to you like, hey man, I'm ready to start thinking about this. What do you think I should do? Like, then I wouldn't really give my opinion.
How do you deal with, like, let's say, for example, a friend you feel like is going down a path of like downward trajectory? Like, how do you feel, and how do you act on it? Or do you like not care, or you're like, oh, fuck, they're doing that again, fuck.
Part of me feels like there's nothing I could really do unless they come to you asking for help in a lot of ways, which is kind of a rare situation, because I feel like for most people, they have to just they have to see the end of the tunnel. They have to go all the way through that for them to realize this is what they want or this is what they don't want. And I think I used to always feel some type of way towards my friends, and maybe to like resent them in a little bit, because I was like, man, like, why are you doing this? Like, and to me in my head, I used to always be like, oh, this is a bad example, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. But then I've learned to just let that go, because it's not about that anyway. It's like, you're trying to see your friend and, you know, you want them to do what's right, but I don't know what the fuck is right for them. Like, my opinion is just one thing. There could be a lot of information I'm missing.
So is it like you were trying to stop them from self-destruction, or you wanted to help them?
That's what I thought. But I think at the end of the day, it's like, I don't think I'm that big of a mover in that way.
But what changed to where you were just like, is it like you just accepted it? Like or were you just more like, so it's just acceptance that like they're just going to live their own path. Right? And it didn't bother you anymore, or you just learned to live with it?
You learn to live with it, and then you learn to be.
So it still bothered you?
No, not really. Like, I think you let go of it, because.
So if you see the homie that's always promiscuous, but then also like getting his heart broken or whatever, or he's spending all much time, if he like does it, or like does the habit again, oh, I'm gonna go meet up with this chick or whatever, and you're like, fuck, there he goes again. I know what's gonna happen next week. He's gonna come over. and want to cry about some bullshit. Like, how do you you're just more like, oh, it is what it is. I'll be there for him when he needs help, or how do you go about
And for my friends that have done this, you talk back to them a little bit, and after a couple months, you realize that they're in a different phase, like naturally, just because they were running themselves into the wall, and they were like doing the cycles with the same chick or whatever, and then a couple months later, you realize now they're going, yeah, I gotta stop now. You know, like without you having to say a fucking thing, you just give them a space where they could like explain to you or talk to you, and you just be open, you know? And I learned that from Tiff too, because she always says like, you can't, because we talk about this, because like I train people, she's a therapist, and a lot of the mindset comes from sometimes you can't want it more than your patient or your client. Yeah. And sometimes you want it more than them, and they're coming for you for help, but you realize that they're like, I guess,
true. That's Asian dad style.
Yeah, they're not ready to make that step. So you kind of just have to be there to be as support rather than, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z. You need to do this, because that doesn't really get through to people, I think, over a period of time until they're ready to say like, okay, I'm ready to accept whatever I need to do to move forward.
Based on your, like, I guess your personal qualities, I feel like you're pretty active and pretty good with goals. Do you have any close friends that are lazy, like from way back, that like that are more like opposite?
Yeah, I guess so. Like, there's always friends that you kind of look at as slackers, I guess, but I've also come to realize too, it's like sometimes they just do things in their own way. They do it in a slower pace.
I guess my question is, how do you have the dynamic of, like everyone always says, and it is true that like you kind of take on the qualities of the people that you're around. How do you,
like, you're the sum of your 5 closest friends?
Yeah. How do you have friends that are very obviously, like you could take on bad qualities from them, but you don't?
Okay, yeah. How do they not rub off on you?
I think it's time dependent. It's how much time you spend with them.
Oh, okay.
So like, nowadays, I don't really have that much time to spend with like a lot of people, you know? So it's like, if I am with somebody, it's only with like a couple hours or so. And then it's kind of like on to the next. So in a lot of ways, I think I'm like kind of protected from that, because I don't get to spend like a ton of time with somebody. And I think the more time you spend with somebody that is kind of like that, the more highly likelihood you're going to adopt a lot of those principles and that mindset. Okay. But
have you ever had like a friendship or acquaintance or something where their worldview and everything is too contrasting to the point where you start going, fuck, I need to compartmentalize my time with them?
Yeah, definitely.
So like, what were those traits? Like,
I think what bothers me a little bit is when people talk about the world or certain aspects of things with such certainty that where I go, you're crazy, dude. Like, how are you talking? Like, especially with like politics nowadays, right? When people come out here and I understand that everyone that I am friends with, they all have different views, and I respect that. You're 100% likely, like you should be able to think whatever you want, right? But how you come to those conclusions is where I go, there's like a little error in how you think in certain times, right? But then again, this could be judgmental brain or whatever.
It's kind of like having a flat earther friend that has no plans of checking the edge of the earth.
Yeah, and it's like, hey man, you gotta, or when some people become like obsessive with it, and that's all they want to talk about. Where I'm like, hey dude, you need to step away, because at a certain point in time, like this isn't
like they're bringing it up in front of new people you both just met,
or like they just can't stop talking about it incessantly.
Can we talk about ice again? Like next Thursday, we'll talk about ice.
Yeah, we'll talk about ice, dude. And we can sit here and have a logical debate, or if you think it should be one way, and that's totally fine, right? Because at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of assholes on a couch. We're not doing anything.
I think that's probably the key. That's probably the key right there. Is if they don't take it that seriously to where it damages your friendship.
Yeah, and the way I like to look at it is like the way we talk about like sports in a lot of ways, right? It's like
everybody's on different teams.
Exactly, and we're on the outside. So it's like, from what we hear, it's always put through a filter of like somebody else. Like, I don't know what their objective is by putting certain news out.
And it's a personalized filter for you and for him, yeah.
So like we have to take it with like a grain of salt no matter what we hear.
I feel like that's a really healthy way of taking information in.
I don't know. It's just like we have to always like, you know, when we go to college, they tell you what, fucking check your sources, make sure it's
Make a bibliography.
yeah, make a bibliography, dude. And like, I don't know. It's just, I just don't like when people get too wrapped up in it, where people start fighting, when they get butthurt because you said like if I say to you, I think Donald Trump's a fucking asshole, and you get mad at me, I'm like, come on, bro, what the fuck is your problem? You know what I mean?
Not my king.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I go like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? Like, why do you love him so much? That's weird. You don't know the fucking
Were your
guy.
fingers crossed when you said it?
Yeah. Or if you're like really hurt that I have an opinion about something, and because you could tell me something about that, like a belief that I have. You could be like, hey, dude, I think MMA is gay. I'll be like, yeah, I can see how you say that. Like, I totally understand.
Do you have any friends that, let's use that example. Yeah. Let's say you have a friend who, if you were to say that Donald Trump's a dumbass, he would get mad. Do you have any friends that you know that if you said something like that, they would get pissed, but you just choose not to?
I think I'm trying not to just censor myself in a lot of ways. So if I truly feel some type of way, that's something I'm trying to be more vocal about, is like, if I feel some type of way, I'm going to say it. And if that upsets you, then we could be cool. Like, we can find a way to be cool, right? Like, I don't know. It is what it is. That's what I've accepted, is like, I think that's part of being close, right?
Yeah.
Understanding that, like, hey, we may not think the same way, but we could still fucking, you know, be friends. Like, why is it so divisive, you know? So I think whenever people are just very dogmatic in their beliefs, and there's no ability to think outside of it, or to like even play with the concept of how you could be wrong, like that already makes me go, maybe I don't want to hang out with you as much, you know, or you limit your time with them.
Like, what's an example of something that brings you closer to someone where like you share a common ground on A, but B through Z are like not in common? You know, is it mainly jujitsu? Is it like fitness? Like, what circles bring you to meet somebody that you're so different from, but you have something major in common?
And then it makes you not cut the ties.
Yeah, where it's like worth preserving.
If it's only A and B through Z are different, we're not friends anymore. Not like I'm breaking up, but I'm like, oh, we're just not aligned or not like-minded.
Yeah. I think like jiu-jitsu is probably one of the
that's like the strongest tie that you have.
That's one of them. Like jiu-jitsu or fitness, like usually, like, because it's activities that people like to do together, and you know, we could have different thoughts or whatever, but because, you know, you end up talking about this stuff anyway. Yeah. Right.
How about family? Do you end up like meeting people through family that you just have to be close with, but you're not necessarily A through Z? You're kind of.
I think for us, I think we're good at limiting time with certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keeping our distance. Like, we don't have to be with them all the time. Yeah. But like, you know, we can gather and be friends and cool, you know, do activities together, but our life isn't super intermeshed with anyone else besides like our really close family, you know? So.
And you could always blame the dogs. Oh, I didn't let the dogs out. Look
honestly,
at the time. I'll see you guys.
Honestly,
how you be doing that?
Honestly, that's the slickest way to get at things. Oh, look, my dog took a shit in the house. I gotta go. You guys.
Someone's like, I fucking love Trump. I want to be president for 4 terms. Oh, look, what? Oh, I didn't let the dogs out, dude.
But part of it though is I like talking to people like that, because I'm just curious. And I try to come from a point of curiosity, because I am fascinated how people come to certain conclusions, because I really want to know. Like, that's just what it is. So I'll kind of, and you know, I think I learned that from training clients too, is because you have to spend an hour with them. And sometimes if you guys don't mesh personality wise, you kind of have to find a common ground where you guys could be like, hey, what do you think about this? Oh, and a lot of the times too, if they have contrasting narratives or contrasting viewpoints, sometimes it is interesting to see how like that could kind of sneak into what you think too, right? Like a little bit, because, you know, sometimes they do make some good points and you're like, yeah, I never thought of it that way. And you explain that very well. Thank you. You know, so sometimes when you just are curious about how people come to those conclusions, I think it's a lot easier to just make it work in a lot of ways, because I'm not going to be the guy that's like, oh, I fucking hate you, I'm not going to talk to you, unless you're like molesting kids or something, you know. But I don't know, like there's certain boundaries hard boundaries that you keep.
You don't think there's something you can learn from a guy like that?
I think there's a couple things I can learn from a guy like that. Unfortunately, nothing good though. Nothing good.
Well, thanks for sharing. This has been another episode of Bart from the Heart.
I hope that was like good, huh?
Is this good content?
I think I was just rambling for 17 minutes, dude.
That was Nick from the Dick.